Good morning. Welcome to New Thought Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Christine Green, and I welcome you to our virtual Sunday service. I'm so excited today to be joined by Brian Harris and Lori Jones. Reverend Shannon will be coming to us from her home. We have a wonderful morning planned. Our physical building is closed. There's just 6 of us here today, and we're practicing our 6 feet apart, but we're loving each other doing it. So we're so grateful that you tuned in to join us today. You have tuned in to an inclusive community that honors all people and all walks of life. So let's begin with a prayer. Just breathing in to this sacred moment. I am consciously aware that there is one universal presence. I know this presence, this power, this life is good. This life is God. This life is filled with unlimited possibilities. This presence is revealed as perfect peace, infinite joy, and exquisite love. I know that I am one with this presence of love, and I know that truth for everyone watching here today, for all of humanity. I know this truth. And so I proclaim that love is activated and revealed today and every day. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, love is activated. I'm grateful for our music and the message. We celebrate divine love that flows through each and every one of us. I'm so grateful for all that is revealed, for all the ways that we are blessed. I surrender this word into love and call it all good. And for this, I am so very grateful. And so it is. I have a couple quick announcements for you. Our classes are going virtual. We're so excited. We have 2 classes starting, Beyond Limits with Reverend Shannon, and I will be teaching Practical Mysticism. You can sign up online at newthoughtcsl.org/grow. Classes will have a call-in option for those of you without the internet. Our Caring Corner remains available at this time. Please call the office to schedule a time or email at office@newthoughtcsl.org. We're also accepting accepting donations. Please let the office know if you would like to drop off a donation. And keep collecting those refundable bottles for our teens. They'll be collecting those as soon as we're back together again. And just want to remind you that our practitioners are available for prayer. You can submit a prayer request. You can email practitioners@newthoughtcsl.org, or you can go to our website and click on the link. If you'd like to receive a phone call from a minister or practitioner, indicate that in your email. Or you can leave a message at 503-296-9922. And so now is our time for meditation. I invite you to turn within, connecting with your breath.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know. In the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is peace.
And so I'm so grateful for this meditation written by practitioner Georgina Eggleston. And so exhaling the air in your lungs and allowing the abundance of air surrounding you to simply move in and fill your lungs with ease. Exhaling and remembering this divine rhythm is ever present. We rest this moment in the pause. Breathing in together, we are filled with the breath of life. Breathing out, we release and relax deeper into the stillness. In this pause, we are renewed. Breathing in a third time, we are realigned with the breath of life as love. Exhaling, we are present to the power within. Remembering that there is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. And we are that love that breathes us now. So moving into our heart center, resting in the stillness, allowing our heart to open to the peace that passes all understanding. We feel this loving presence fill every cell of our being. Allowing this loving presence to breathe us now, our energy is renewed. The seeking is done. We feel the oneness within. We are home. So from this place of power and presence and oneness, we return our attention to the now. In confident connection as love. And so it is. And I'm so grateful to introduce Lori Jones.
So many years, so many seasons, following many a muse. Every venture coming and going as I'm pulled toward deeper truth. The hurting, the crying, the stumbling and trying, a part of a greater good. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me high, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I Spirit in me, embracing this path now ever more fully, drawing to it what I need, and what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all the tattered pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence of me. The essence of me. The hurting, the crying, all the stumbling and trying, it's all part of a greater good, yeah. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all those pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence, the sweet, sweet essence of me. Yeah, the essence of me. Let the rest fall away to the essence. To the essence, the essence.
Thank you, Lori. That was really beautiful. And now Reverend Shannon is coming to us from her home, and we're looking forward to her inspiration today.
Hello, loves. Greetings to you, and thank you to Lori Jones, Rev Christine, Brian Harris. Thank you also to Shelley Walker, John Bluster, and Randall for bringing this service to you, care of the modern technology that we all are a part of. It is so interesting to be doing the talk this way. I miss you, and I thank you for joining us. I hope that you are nice and cozy in your jammies or comfy clothes watching this. So you know I'm in my slippers. It's just us. No, but doesn't this all feel surreal? I mean, really. Speaking of surreal, almost 2 weeks ago, I was in Ireland for 2.5 days. Shortly after we landed, the coronavirus situation escalated rapidly, and we ended up having to cancel the rest of our vacation and turn around and just come right on back home. We're big on mother-daughter trips in our house, and this was one for the books, I will say. I was there with 2 of our daughters, and wow, we learned so much about the world and ourselves in just those 2 days. There's an Irish saying, Céad Míle Fáilte, which translates in English as 100,000 welcomes. And this is the title of my talk today. I actually chose the title quite a while ago, before all of this. And much to my surprise, it has so much more meaning to me now. It feels to me that we are being 100,000 times welcomed into a new way of being, which is never easy. Our 17-year-old daughter, McKenna, said to me the other day, she said, Mom, we're living in a time that's going to be taught in history books, but not the regular stuff, she said. We're living through a time of change that will seem primitive to my grandchildren. that gave me pause. Because we really are living through a transformational moment on earth that I believe is evolving us as human beings. There will be the pre-COVID-19 era, and there will be the post-COVID-19 era. And how trippy that we are all a part of this piece of human history. It's just wild. When we were in Ireland for that quick minute, I rented us a car thinking that we would make our way down the coast, stopping to learn about the history and the culture of the place. However, I think what we learned, or at least what I learned, given the incredibly odd circumstances, was about consciously welcoming the discomfort so that a new way of being can be born. Discomfort is a very real thing for all of us right now. And for me, it started on my way out of the car rental place in Ireland. For any of you who have driven on the opposite side of the road like they do in Ireland, you know exactly what I am talking about. Not only are you driving on the opposite side of the road, but your steering wheel and gears are flipped inside the car. So the steering wheel is on the right side of the car where your passenger usually sits. It feels quite bananas, really uncomfortable. And it's akin to what I think many of us are feeling right now. I mean, one minute we're just living our lives, humming along, going on down the road, minding our own business without a whole lot of thought to it. Then one day, out of the blue, we're required to go down the road backwards into oncoming traffic. Well, it feels a little bit like that right now. My friends, I learned that this kind of driving, if you will, requires flexibility, trust, and surrendered focus. Because your life and the life of your people in the car, or following the metaphor in your home, depend upon it. Surrendered focus is a concept I've been thinking a lot about lately. Everything we're going through right now requires enormous surrender, and it requires heightened focus. And for what it's worth, I believe that each one of us has what it takes to drive on the opposite side of the road for a while. We each have a big invitation to consciously welcome the discomfort so that a new way of being can be born. I'm going to invite you to really think about that, this invitation to consciously welcome the discomfort so that a new way of being can be born. So the next question becomes, how are you with discomfort? Can you sit with it, or does it make you want to binge watch reruns of The Office? Which is okay, no judgment, great show. However, seriously, no judgment. I want to support you in creating some balance for yourself as together we all move through this time. So the Buddhists do this kind of thing really, really well, and we in New Thought have learned so much from them. The Buddha himself went through anguish in his early years, trying all sorts of extremes to try to make himself feel somehow better or more enlightened. And it wasn't until after he discovered what he called the middle way that he then eventually became enlightened. In Buddhism, this is much similar to what we in New Thought would call the spiritual principle of balance. So, how do you create balance when there is so much out of balance right now? Buddhist nun Pema Chodron wrote, "Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know." So whatever it is that is feeling out of balance within us is actually our teacher. And it's just waiting to have the opportunity to teach us and help us move into the middle way of balance. So this means that we're invited or welcomed, if you will, into noticing gently where we feel off or out of sorts. So I invite you to breathe, to be with it. Maybe for this next moment even, I invite you just to take a breath in and locate any area within you that is feeling discomfort and silently ask it, what do you want me to know? If you're skeptical, that's okay. Just try it anyway. It works. Just ask, what do you want me to know? This will bring you very valuable information. You may discover that spending time actually grieving what is happening right now will help you. And if that's the case for you, know that we have wonderful practitioners that can support you. You can call the center, make an appointment to speak to someone. Or it may be that you are feeling disconnected. Totally understandable. All right. Then that would suggest that it is time to perhaps start actually picking up the phone, calling your loved ones rather than texting. Remember when we used to do that? We used to make actual phone calls. Maybe you go into discomfort when you realize that you're really bored. I get it. And I will just suggest to you that there are a ton of resources online to support you. Starting a hobby, maybe taking a class. Our classes are coming up. You can check it out online. Or join like-minded folks to learn something new. Spirit within you always knows, and it's just waiting to lovingly guide you on your path. So, once upon a time, there was a very wise spider who wanted to build a beautiful home for her beautiful spider family. So she decided to spin her dream web home between two carefully selected blades of green grass. The other neighborhood spiders scoffed at her as they, scooted by, as they walked by, telling her that it was ridiculous to build a web between two blades of grass, that was just not how it was done. Spider homes were built between two sturdy surfaces, like rocks or two stones. But this wise spider would not be deterred. She had a big, beautiful spider family with lots of grandbaby spiders, and she wanted to keep them safe. And when she was finally done, her home was a masterpiece. It boasted several rooms, a lovely guest bath, and even a bidet for the times when toilet paper was hard to come by. She ignored the spiders who teased her on their way home from work at night. She just smiled a knowing smile and blessed them on their way. And then one day, a very strong wind came. And it took all the spiders in town by surprise. They rushed into their homes, ducking for cover. However, because the wind was so strong and their webs were built between rock-like structures that were inflexible, the strength of the mighty wind blew a hole right through all of the webs, destroying their homes and sending the spiders tumbling clear across town. But the wise spider, she and her family just swayed back and forth with the ebb and flow, with the flexibility of the bend in the grass. And after the wind died down and balance was restored, everything in her home was left perfectly intact, including her bidet. The end. We have, my friends, an opportunity to think of this time of quarantine and sheltering, of social distancing, like the wise spider. We have an opportunity to create a home life for ourselves, whatever that is for you, that is flexible, that moves with the rhythm and the ebb and flow of life right now. So I invite you to just notice where you may be able to release some control. I know it's not easy, especially if you are in a difficult situation right now. But I invite you to gently look at where you may have an opportunity to move into more surrender, more flexibility, and a deepened faith. The faith that Spirit, the God of your understanding, love, intelligence, is at work for the highest and best for all of us. Because these winds that right now seem to be shaking our house down will calm. They will eventually stop. And the choices we make now and how we treat ourselves and others, that will remain. Thomas Merton wrote, "There is in all things a hidden wholeness. There is in all things a hidden wholeness." And I believe that that is a healthy and empowering way that right now we can look at this virus. Not for one single moment denying the fear and the pain that this virus is wreaking on our planet. Quite the opposite. For those people who have been impacted the most, for those of us who have loved ones who have been diagnosed, who are worried about paying bills or having enough to eat, who are lonely during this time of isolation, this is all very real and it must be addressed by every one of us. And we are seeing efforts by good people all over the world to help those in need. If you could use a hand right now, a reminder that we have our own caring corner on site at our center at 10th and C in Lake Oswego, Oregon. You can just call the New Thought Center for Spiritual Living at 503-296-9922. There are non-perishable food items and essentials there for you. Just please do call the office ahead of time and we will arrange to have someone there for you to open the building so that you can get what you need. There are so many wonderful groups on social media that are sharing all of the good that people are doing right now. And one of the groups that I like on Facebook is called the Kindness Pandemic. If you haven't yet heard of them or seen what they're doing, please do check it out. It's just wonderful. I think one of the gifts of hidden wholeness right now is looking at all of the beautiful ways that we humans are just loving one another. John O'Donohue wrote, "Love begins with paying attention to others, with an act of gracious self-forgetting. This is the condition in which we grow." There are far more people across the globe that are helping each other and being truly kind than hoarding toilet paper and tuna fish. I truly believe this. And it doesn't take a lot. Small kindnesses go so far right now. There's a woman named Stephanie Biviano from Australia, and she just went down to a park nearby where she lives, and she put out some essential items on a table for anyone who needs them. So kind. There was one story I saw about a retirement home on a residential street, and the view from the upper windows of the people who live in the retirement home says, "Stay safe, we love you." There was a post that a woman shared that her daughter is a pizza delivery person, and the other night a kind woman tipped her 2 rolls of toilet paper. It made her whole night. For me, though, the most impactful visual that I have seen are the incredible images in Italy of Italians making music on their balconies while on lockdown. What an incredible kindness and triumph of the human spirit. And not only that, You know what else brought a smile to my face right now was thinking about all of the positive aspects that have emerged out of the past several days that benefit Mother Earth. Cleaner canals in Venice, a positive effect on marine life around that city, major reduction in pollution in China and Italy and other places. I read that in 2020, experts are predicting global emissions will actually drop for the very first time since 2009. Yes, this is an unbelievably challenging time right now that we are all in. And in my personal experience, allowing ourselves as best we can to surrender and to focus on the positive, to move with the ebb and flow of the storm, like the wise spider, to be flexible in our webs, if you will. It will help us. It will help a lot. As Rev Barb said last week, we are all adjusting to this new normal. And what I know is that every major crisis in history has left an important story for future generations to tell. And I would like to invite us at this time to think of this time as both a spiritual retreat and a revolution of kindness. Let us use this time productively, friends. Let's continue to take care of each other, to be proud of our shared story. Let's share what we have. Let's welcome with a deep bow the interconnectedness we have with each other all over the world and with Mother Earth. Let's make music on our balconies for each other. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you. I love you. And now I would like to move into a brief prayer. So I invite you just to close your eyes and get comfortable right where you are. Take in a nice deep breath. What a blessing it is to be together in this technology. I am so grateful that we have a way to connect during this time. And I bless this time, and I allow this prayer to be a blessing to anyone, anywhere that is impacted by this time, that is experiencing fear, pain, concern, worry. In this moment, I sense and believe that each one of us connected in this moment uplift the world with our love and the ways in which that we are being kind and kinder to each other. I affirm for each one of us a calm, a comfort, a peace, a deepening into our faith, a flexibility, going with the flow wherever the wind of this may take us, knowing that we are all in this together. And so from this place of grace, on behalf of each one of us, I bless all people, all churches everywhere, mosques, ashrams, synagogues, temples, circles, all paths to the divine, knowing that we are all one in this experience. We are all members of this one human family. So from this place of grace, I allow with everything that I am, love to be felt in an even greater way on this planet. It is the highest truth of each one of us, this love intelligence that lives inside of us. And I am so grateful knowing that each one of us is guided by this love itself. I let go, I let God, I let love, I let it be. And so it is. So this is the time for our conscious giving, for the opportunities that we have to give. And I would just say to you that paying it forward at this time to our community is important. And so I invite you to give what you can. If you can give more, please do. And know that, again, we're all in this together, and that we are so very grateful for your gifts. It allows us to continue doing what we are doing together. So let us say our blessing. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Please know that you can also text to give, and that number is on your screen. A few years ago, Lori Jones wrote a song called The First 100 Days. Some of you might remember it. I love the lyrics that she wrote to this. She wrote, "We see ourselves in every face with compassion as our guide, one humanity on high in these first 100 days." I am so thankful to have her here with us to share her song. So please enjoy. Mwah. I love you. See you soon.
In these first 100 days, we lift our heads above the haze, knowing we were made for these times, rising up to light the sky. In these first 100 days, we are the ones to lead the way. The map is written on our hearts. Hand in hand, we make this start. These days, these mighty precious days. In these first 100 days, we see ourselves in every face, with compassion as our guide, one humanity on high. In these first 100 days, we speak up, we're not afraid, learning how to use our voice, 'cause holding back is not a choice. We are the bridge across these false divides, we're reaching through the illusion to where we're all the same inside. In these first 100 days, we lift our heads above the haze, knowing we were made for these times, rising up to light the sky. In these first 100 days, we are the ones to lead the way. The map is written on our hearts. Hand in hand, we make this start. In these first 100 days, we see ourselves in every face, and with compassion as our guide, one humanity on high. These days, oh, these mighty, mighty precious days, we are the ones, we are the ones. Hand in hand, we'll lead the way. Oh, these days. We were made for these days. Yes, we were. Oh, these days.
Thank you so much, Lori Jones. That was wonderful. You can find Lori's music at laurijones.com, LauriJones.com. Reverend Christine, would you like to come up and give us our closing blessing?
Thank you so much for being here with us today. I know the light surrounds you and blesses you wherever you are. And may you go in the light and as the light and with the light until we meet again. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way.